Hello everyone and welcome to another video by Centipede Geek. Today we're going to discuss my thoughts and opinions upon an NBC television series by the name of Hannibal. I'm going to talk about Season 2, Episode 5, titled Mukōzuke. And forgive me if I pronounce those titles wrong. These titles in Season 2 are Japanese, and the first season were French titles, I believe. But we have two kind of key plot points that that I'll talk about before my actual initial opinions on episode 5 of this series by the name of Hannibal, and that is we are finally reunited with the character of Abel Gideon. If you've been watching Hannibal, you know about that character, so I won't talk too much about that. But finally, he popped up, several times in the first season, and in Season 2 he's popped up here and, every now and then. But this season is this episode is sort of the first episode that actually, kind of focuses on his character. So we meet Abel Gideon once again, reunited with him, and then finally we've been waiting to meet Will's admirer. Finally we get to meet him. It's actually somebody that actually works within the institution that Will is locked up in, the jail he's all locked up in. So we finally meet this admirer, and Will Graham, major spoilers of the episode coming up, Will tells him, he says, "Hey, I want you to go kill Hannibal Lecter." And that's pretty much what this entire episode revolves around. That's pretty much the main plot of this episode, is this admirer going after Hannibal Lecter because of what Will Graham told him to do. Obviously he admires him, so he's going to do it, right? So that's pretty much the plot of Season 2, Episode 5, titled Mukōzuke, for the NBC television series by the name of Hannibal. My thoughts and opinions and review of this episode: I loved this episode. This was a fantastic episode. I love the interactions between each and every character, interactions between, Will Graham and Hannibal Lecter. But not only that, but we were given interactions in this episode between Will Graham and his admirer. And those are probably some of my favorite scenes with them, learning why his admirer likes Will Graham so much. And, I like those scenes between those two characters. I like the whole sort of, plot point going on with, Jack Crawford's wife, her slapping him, I'll be honest with you guys, I forget whether this happened in this episode or the previous one, but either way, I love that concept, of Hannibal Lecter not really, we're not really knowing who he is yet, because he keeps making all these, decisions of, should him and Will Graham be friends, and, I love that whole plot point of the friendship. It's overall just really interesting seeing him, he let Will Graham take the fall, but yet he is also able to do the righteous thing by allowing, Jack Crawford's wife to live, even though when she tried to overdose herself on morphine. So his character is really interesting and sometimes confusing at times. I love his character in general. My favorite scene in this episode is probably towards the very end, when the admirer decides to sort of, almost, I guess you could say, crucify Hannibal Lecter's character. Obviously he doesn't die, but he's in like this, position where his arms are spread out and they're all tied up, and he slit his wrist, and his wrists are bleeding, and then Jack Crawford comes in to save the day, holding him up, when Hannibal Lecter's body was hanging. I loved that scene. The admirer was shot and died. I just loved that scene. That was probably my favorite scene in Episode 5 of Season 2 of the NBC television series by the name of Hannibal. This series is building with an intensity where, they are so close to catching Hannibal. I mean, Jack Crawford is only missing things by a mile, and, it's crazy how cool this series is getting. Once again, thanks for watching another video by Centipede Geek for my Episode 5 Season 2 review of the series with the name of Hannibal. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to my page below, and I'll see you guys later. More videos by Centipede Geek.